Saludos amigos, Cash here, President and CEO of Cash International Luxury Real Estate. Guys, how are you doing? Hope you're doing great. Hey, I'm just here having a quick coffee. We've got some work happening on our terrace. We got the crews are coming in. They're going to be in any minute. The other day I was watching the news. I like to watch it almost for entertainment purposes at this stage. But what I was doing is I was watching the news and I had two news stories in a row come through, and I want to share those with you for the reason of letting you know, like, there were so many advantages to living in the Dominican Republic. As you know, I talk about them all the time. One being the weather. The weather is consistent, okay? We also talk about cost of living, and we talk about the emerging middle class, the business opportunities, the fact that it feels like it's a land of opportunity, the 1980s back in Canada days. So these two news stories in a row, right after another, it seems like a constant. It's like on repeat. Every time I go on, I hear news like this. So one is related to the weather. I don't know what's going on in North America. I don't know the weather patterns that have been manipulated or what the deal is. But guys, every time I'm on, there's catastrophic weather, whether it is in the winter. You can't even get a break in the summer now. The summer months are catastrophic as well. You got these fires happening all over the place. You've got a constant stream of negative weather. If there isn't a fire, the temperatures are completely unbearable. I'm here in the Dominican Republic, guys. Yesterday was a beautiful, like, 90 degrees, okay? And this is summer in the Dominican Republic. The weather is hitting 110, 120, constant flooding everywhere you're looking. Tornadoes, that's another one. Like, thank God we don't have tornadoes over here, because that freaks me out. I remember when I was back in Canada, that was like one of my biggest fears during the summer months, is when those dark clouds roll in and then you get a tornado that would just drop on you. Can't even prepare for that. You can't predict where it's going to hit, when it's going to hit. It's just a very unsettling feeling. I know my brother back in Canada, he freaks out about that all the time. He was always sending me messages throughout the day like, hey, the potential tornado. He has all these apps. So that's one thing we don't have to deal with over here, which I really like. Then the other thing, the other article, and guys, forgive me, I just recorded with my phone, so it's not the best sound or anything like that. The other one is the cost of living. They talk a little bit about that and the issues that are coming, continuously bombarding people with the cost of living. And now with all of these import talks, that's a constant thing. Prices of all your goods are forecasted to go up. Apparently, average American is going to be spending, I think it's like, I don't remember the number exactly, so don't quote me on it. I think like $4,000 additional a year, just in that basic study that they did. But the costs are going to be through the roof as well. So all these things are compiling and creating the perfect storm in which I have been saying that this mass exodus is going to go down. And if people haven't realized it yet, then they're going to be realizing it very soon. And you're going to see an influx of people that want to come to the Dominican Republic. So as I'm getting ready for these guys to show up, they'll be here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and run those two videos for you. It's just some food for thought. That's all it is. I'm just sharing some thoughts. It's some food for thought. Watch those videos. Think about it in the context I do when I watch the news. And hopefully it's helpful. Open your eyes a little bit more. And you guys might see why the Dominican Republic could be a really good play, okay? Because Florida's yesterday's newspaper, I feel, the weather patterns, the way things get, the way the cost of living is over there, all those aspects are turning people away from Florida at a rapid pace. And when I'm saying turning people away from Florida, I'm not talking about the ultra wealthy. I'm talking about, your average middle class person that is grinding it out and trying to make their life better. It's turning them away. The retirees that are going to be working on a fixed income, turning those people away. All right, so that's where the Dominican Republic really, really jumps out at you as a viable, real world option. And then, of course, myself and my team are here to guide you through that process. All right, guys, love where you live. I hope you guys are doing great. Sorry about this. These last two news articles, they're a little bit negative in nature, but it really transpires into, before you were able to say summers were beautiful in North America. Now, all I see on the news is summers are not so beautiful, and things are kind of spiraling in a very awkward and strange negative direction over there. All right, guys, hope you're well. Talk to you soon, and stick around. Please remember, like, subscribe, and share on the channel. We're going to have some really cool properties coming up. You'll be first to know when you hit that subscribe button, and more importantly, hit that notification button. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye. Guys, sorry, before I let you go, there's one thing in those articles, and this was the main focus of what I want to talk about, is they're talking a lot about the air quality. That is a troubling thing for me, because the air quality, when that's starting to deteriorate as it is in so many places across North America because of these fires, guys, that is a catastrophic type of situation. That's your health now. That's your life. And literally people are fighting for their life right now just to live. And it's not a economic barrier. It is a location issue. It is where you are living. Now, why do we not have forest fires over here in the same regard, guys? Because it's very lush, it's very wet, not easy for forest fires to start by lightning and start and spread at this rate. So, you know, that's really great. Geographically, weather pattern-wise, it really puts us in a really strong position. Now, for those naysayers about the Dominican Republic, you're gonna say, yeah, hurricanes. Of course, guys, that is a scenario that could exist, but what I do like about that situation, guys, is I can prepare, okay? Days in advance, sometimes even weeks in advance now, you will know that there's a potential for a hurricane. If it starts to get serious, guys, I pack up my shit and I hit the road, okay? You install your shutters, okay? Like we've done over here, we've installed shutters. Install your shutters on your property, you close it all up, and if you have the ability, you drive to the other side of the coast. And I did that once before. I went to the other side of the coast. You can get away from it. So very easy, very simple. I like the ability to escape bad weather than it being tossed at me, surprisingly. All right, guys, watch the rest of this.
Tonight, heavy downpours in the south turning deadly in at least one state. Officials in Alabama say one person died after the car they were in washed off a roadway. Some areas across that state, as well as Georgia and Florida, bracing for up to half a foot of rain or more. The Gifford fire in central California now at roughly 40,000 acres and only 5% contained. 3 people have reportedly been injured, ranchers scrambling to save their cattle, but fast-moving flames overtook some.
It smoked us completely, as you can see. It's brutal.
Evacuation orders issued and states of emergency declared from California to Utah to Arizona, but it's Canada's wildfires that are blanketing the eastern half of the U.S. with smoke. On social media, videos showing hazy skies.
So all of these areas that used to be, safe are no longer safe.
Minnesota's air quality alert lasting a week, its longest in history. In Chicago, Cubs fans and Lollapalooza attendees are braving the outdoors days after the city clocked the worst air quality in the world, with experts calling it officially dangerous.
Why? Why do we continuously have to deal with this?
This week has just been hazy, a lot of haze.
This summer, severe weather sparing no corner of the country. New Jersey and New York even rattled by a magnitude 3.0 earthquake Saturday.
Maggie Vespa is joining us now from a hazy Chicago. Maggie, sounds like there's at least a little bit of hope on the horizon, so to speak, for people dealing with all that wildfire smoke.
Yeah, Allie, it definitely is. Basically, in much of the upper Midwest where we are and Northeast, this smoke should clear out midweek. And more specifically, in at least 10 states, those air quality alerts, those should start to expire.
More impacts as new tariffs set to go into effect Thursday.
This is truly the dawn of the golden age of America.
President Trump's new import taxes now include Canada's 35% tariff and 50% on Brazil, which produces nearly 40% of the world's coffee. White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett on Meet the Press discussing countries that have not yet inked a deal.
They're going to get the reciprocal raise soon, and then we would expect that there might continue to be negotiations with those countries.
Boardwalk coffee roasters in San Diego relies heavily on beans from Brazil. They're working on a game plan, either pass the cost on to consumers or find beans from a different country.
Other countries are more expensive, don't offer the same flavor profile, and they also have tariffs of 10 to 25%.
So you're kind of screwed here?
Pretty much.
When tariffs were first announced, coffee drinkers started panic buying across the country.
That's a big impact for you?
Yeah, that and add $1 on everything else. If you buy it's $3 or $4, it's going to add up.
Some experts say school supplies are already priced and on shelves, but impacts will likely be felt months from now.
Prices are high, and they're going to continue to be high, and then they're going to go up a little higher as well if we don't kind of settle these trade issues that we're having around the world.
This coming amid new data flashing potential warning signs for the U.S. economy. The president firing the labor statistics head hours after the release of a weak jobs report. Trump, without evidence, called the data rigged.
I believe the numbers were phony just like they were before the election.
Americans now hoping for a tariff Hail Mary to avoid those impacts. Dana Griffin, NBC News.